If these walls could talk, the stories they could tell. Iconic architecture, generational impact, lasting legacy. Historic Hobey Baker Memorial Rink has it all. And now, one of college hockey's most hallowed venues is hitting the century mark. When Hobart Amory Hare Baker, one of Princeton's finest sons and a member of the great class of 1914, lost his life in a tragic plane crash shortly after the conclusion of World War I, it was decided that there would be no better way to honor Hobey than to build an ice rink in his name on campus. On January 5, 1923, Hobey Baker Rink opened its wooden doors, christened with a game between Baker's Princeton Tigers and the St. Nicholas Hockey Club with whom Hobey had skated upon graduation. Today it stands as the oldest on-campus hockey venue in the nation.
Well, I think it's just the fact that no one would ever guess it's a rink from its outside. It almost looks like a church. It's so beautiful from the outside, and then you come inside and realize that it's a hockey rink, and it just makes it all that much more fun to play in.
My first memory was on my recruiting trip it was probably 1987, the beginning of 1987, and walking into the rink for the first time, and just, the sights and the smells and the atmosphere was just, just something that I'll remember forever. I mean, it still smells exactly the same as it did in 1987, but I just remember it feeling so intimate and feeling so Princeton.
It's the granddaddy of all college rinks. It's really a sensational place, and even without all the improvements that they've done such a wonderful job with, it was just a unique place to step into. I think the most fun I'd ever had in coaching was a Saturday morning practice here with the sun cracking through the glass and maybe glitters of the sun on the ice, but it being really chilly and the ice is about as perfect as it could get.
The first thing that comes to mind is playoffs against Quinnipiac in March 2020. We played 3 games. We went to double OT and ended up scoring and sent us to the Final Four for ECACs, where we ended up winning.
I definitely remember my first time at Baker, because you step in and it's unlike any rink you've ever been at before. The layout of the place with the architecture and the beams coming across the top of the wooden roof and the stone walls with all the NHL guys and the women that have been super successful lined along the glass. That's awesome. I think that's really cool. Plus it shows just like the history of the building. And then tucked away in a little corner, it's got all of the Hobey memorabilia, which is also really cool.
Well, I actually remember playing here as a player. Hobey Baker was my favorite rink to come to when I played college hockey as an outsider, and I mean, it's kind of special that it's one of the first games that my now husband followed me to, because this rink was so special. He wanted to come and see me play at Hobey Baker, and so I just think like it's the most special place. You get goosebumps when you come in. The fan atmosphere is incredible. There's nothing else like it.
Hockey legendary surrounding Baker Rink. Obviously, having Patty Kazmaier play there, and then obviously, having Hobey Baker. That's, I mean, that is the top of the top when it comes to college hockey. And, to get to play in an arena that really raised that kind of, really just fame and legendary was something that I never could have imagined, but obviously having the opportunity to have played there and, having had the opportunity to compete for those awards as well was something just truly special, and I'll always cherish.
We look at Baker Rink and Princeton University. You have the Kazmaier Award, you have the Hobey Baker Award, and you have one of the oldest rinks in the country. So this is basically, the footprint and home base of college hockey. And to have a celebration with a women's program is equally important to celebrate the longevity of the rink standing here, but just the tradition, the history, and to have the Kazmaier Award, the Hobey Baker Award, it just shows you what Princeton hockey means to college hockey.
There have been other tributes to one of the game's greats, but none more stunning or emotional than our beloved barn. This place, this rink, it's hallowed ice in the heart of Princeton's campus. As Hobey Baker Rink celebrates its centennial, it looms large, just like the man whose name it bears, as a hockey icon. A bridge from the game's formative years to its stars of today and tomorrow. It makes Hobey proud.